Hi, good day everyone. This is Mr. Chika from Dubiss Forex Academy. Nice to see us once again after so many times that we've not been online. So today we've resumed on sending analysis daily, daily and weekly. So from now onward, you'll be seeing our posts on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube, and most of our social media platform. So today we want to start our analysis with some few pairs that we are looking at. Okay, before us on the chart is the gold XAU USD. Now for XAU USD, looking at my time frame H1, we can see that gold have been reacting to this zone, this area of demand zone. So you look at, for several times price could not pull out from there. They push price, then price rejected it. So what are we seeing there? Most likely from there, gold we bounce up from here. If you watch from this demand zone, you can see that gold has been on this zone several times. They tried to push it down, but they were unable. The buyers have been defending that zone. So what I think is that from this point, gold will be moving up. Now if you are buying gold, we buy gold based on short time and also long time. Now on the short time, one thing you notice is that you notice this zone. There is a strong zone here. So first of all, if you are buying gold, please look at this zone. Then if finally break out of that zone, then we should see gold pushing further towards this level. We see gold pushing towards this level. So if you are buying gold, you can hold your position up until this top. That should be around the first TP should be around 34.04. Then furthermore, we can see gold getting to around 34.40. Okay, so very clear. You can see it's very clear. Now we move on to NZD USD. Now on NZD USD, we can see that price has been falling. Okay, I'm seeing divergence in the market. Gold is moving up, Euro USD, GBP USD, NZD USD is moving down. So I call it divergence in the market. Okay, but we already know what is happening. There are this issue between Israel and Iran. So most likely the safe haven currency will do what? Appreciate, and gold is a safe haven. Why these other ones like Euro, US, Euro, NZ, Euro, NZD, AUD, they should be moving towards the downside, and that is what we are seeing. Okay, now on the NZD USD, you can see that price has been falling. Price started falling somewhere here. Look at this. Price started falling at that point. Now I'm seeing something on this. There might be a little pause here, but if this pause could not hold, now why I put up this zone is that for those of you who know little about the ICT, you can see that we have a demand zone there. So but let's see if that demand zone can be able to hold this pair. And yes, if the demand zone can be able to hold it, then peradventure it could not hold it if you are looking for a buy, because the price has been selling. So meaning that you now look for where price will retrace. Maybe you buy the retracement, then we can look at this zone. Here could be another good zone for NZD USD for buyers, those who want to buy on NZD USD. Okay, a short buy. While I say a short buy, there is uncertainty in the market. So while trading, when you trade profit, you can pull out your profits because nobody knows what will happen the next minute, the next hour. Okay, so for buyers, those who want to buy, then please, this zone, I'm looking at this zone first of all, but watch that zone closely. Then if price could not hold that zone, then look at this zone where we can see price accumulated for several times. So let me put it up here, buy X a USD. So we have a buy zone at that point. Remember, I said due to we have an order block there, okay, a demand zone, the order block. Then peradventure that zone could not hold it, then we have another zone here, okay, where we expect this pair to do what? React. When it reacts, then we can take and grab our profits. Okay, someone will say I give you where to enter but where to exit. Okay, look at this. I'm looking at short trade that can profit you. So if you buy on this first zone, you can take your TP here. Then if you're buying on this second zone, sorry, let me go back again. So if you are buying on this second zone, then let's also take it up to that length. So for those who will be buying, you buy at this zone, probably exit at this zone. Why did I say you should exit there? We have another block here, which if price get there, it will now become a breaker block that will hold price. So that's why I'm taking it as my TP zone. So this should be your TP zone if you are taking entry in any of this level, and that should be around 0.6487. okay, then on AUD NZD, this one, sorry, I've already done the analysis. I've posted it in our group. You can see price is already falling. Actually, there was a manipulation. First of all, there was the accumulation of price. Then after the accumulation, they manipulated price upwards. Then currently price is now doing what? Distributed towards the downside, and the target should be somewhere here, that is around 0.52630. So that one is very clear. Then on Euro USD, yeah, Euro USD is benefiting from the down trend. Now on Euro USD, if you look at this, please notice that we have what you're seeing happening to Euro USD currently is price is what? Playing at the liquidity zone. So price is currently what? On the liquidity zone. So what I don't know is that if this liquidity will hold this price at this level. Okay, if price, but in case it did not hold it, we should be looking at to buy gold at this other block. Peradventure, if that liquidity is being taken out, then for those who wants to buy Euro USD, you should be expecting it on this other block. So, and you already know how the smart money does their things. If they want to buy, take a trade, they will first of all look for what? Liquidity, and take it out. But I can tell you, those who wants to trade, okay, price might bounce from this liquidity, probably give a little bounce from here, because I'm already seeing something here. If you watch at this point, we have a rally base rally, so probably there might be a bounce, then that bounce will result price getting to this zone, to this supply zone, then probably price might continue towards this demand zone. So for those of us who wants to buy, we can simply wait for price on this demand zone. Or if you also want to sell, because this chart has been selling, if you want to sell, you can't sell at that point. Allow price to do what? Retrace. Then after the retracement, you can now do what? Take your sell. Okay, so you can see the arrow, everything is showing clearly. If you want to sell, you might not sell at that point. Just wait for price to do what? Retrace, then you sell. Then if you want to buy, wait for price on this demand zone. We believe price will do what? Act on this zone. Look at this zone, okay? It has been playing out, so we'll wait for price at that zone. Then for Euro JPY, if you look at this chart, you see that it has been what? In an upward trend, such that what happened here, let me start from somewhere here. We saw that price did what? Let's go. Okay, price tapped this demand zone. Let me just use demand zone, but I'm using buy zone. So price tapped there, move, so telling us that this guy is interested in moving up. Then after that point, we can see, look at what happened here again. Look at this, there was a kiss on this demand zone. There was a kiss on that demand zone, price push. So look at what has happened. Let me demonstrate. Okay, secondly, we got a kiss from that demand zone, price push up. So what are we expecting? For me, we should be expecting another buy, but that will only be if price have given us what? A retracement. Okay, but if you want to sell from that top, good for you, because we have price have gotten to the extreme, so most likely price will now fall. But if you fall, for those who want to continue riding the trend on that buy zone, look at what I'm seeing there. I have several zones, but I want to look at this. Okay, let me show you something. First of all, there was a demand zone here. You can see price have already mitigated this. Zone, and it push. So this one have played out. Okay, good. This one have played out. Now I'm seeing another zone which have not been mitigated. Look at this zone. That is another demand zone. So most likely price will get there. But one thing I know about this is that zone for me is not the premium zone. Okay, it's the premium zone. When you use your Fibonacci 50 in measure, okay, that zone falls on 50 points, between 38 and 50.0. But if you want to look at the extreme where price will react, I would have been looking at this. So look at what I'll do on that point. For us, we'll be expecting price in any of these zones. So watch out for price in any of these demand zone. In case you don't know, when I say demand zone, I'm using the order block, but I'm using pure order block, not actually demand. So us, we wait for price on any of this level. Look at this. So that is for Euro JPY. Most likely, if the one of the first one did not play, then expect price to bounce from the second one. Very strong zone. So but watch out for price in any of these zones for continuation of the buy. Okay, so we move to Euro CHF. Now for Euro CHF, we have a structure. First of all, we have price pull down, then give us a retracement, then later on price continue, but the continuation of the upward trend, price could not break this zone. Let's see, we have that old high. Price have not mitigated that zone, so currently price started falling from here. So price started falling from here. So for Euro CHF, seeing price push, rallying down. Okay, so for Euro CHF, look at what I'm expecting from Euro CHF. Haven't price give us this, because we can see that price is no longer interested in taking out this up liquidity. Okay, and another thing happened, that it gets to this point, this liquidity zone, okay, and start falling from there. So most likely this guy will now do what? Continue to fall. But look at this. Okay, so look at this. We can see that price somehow have given us a change of character here, a change of character. So what we call chalk, you know, like most of those other ones, I didn't go in details to give us those analysis. I just took it very simple so that you understand, because if I go in details to do the analysis, maybe we might stay in one chart for several minutes, so I just did it simple. So but this one, you can see that price have broken out of this zone. So what next will price play? Haven't price done this, what I think price might do is probably give us a retracement, then continue the falling. But I'm looking for where we will most likely get that retracement. First, on this 30 minutes, I'm seeing rally, base, rally. Okay, price rally, giving us a base rally. So I'll be expecting price. Okay, haven't given us, look at what I mean, rally, then base, you can see rally. So in rally, base, rally, you can see after the rally, base, rally, you can see that when price get to this demand zone, then it will give us what? Rally, base, drop. I hope it's not strange. Okay, rally, base, drop, that is what I'm seeing price giving us there. So taking the whole of this other block, expecting to sell from this zone. So I call here a sell zone, because we expect price to continue the downward trend. But for price to continue that downward trend, it need to give us an entry. It need to give us a what? An entry. So if we take that entry there, you know, everything is possible. Look at this zone. So expect the first TP here. Expect your first TP here. That should be, let me TP. So let's see the price. That that should be around 0.93593. then further move, okay, further move, we could be seeing that price coming towards this zone here. Let's see. Good. So furthermore, we could see price, okay, in a long term driving towards 0.93188. So that will be the second TP. Okay, let's look at GBP USD. Okay, for GBP USD, you know, GBP USD and Euro USD they are playing almost the same, just that GBP USD do rally more than Euro these days. So I don't know the reason. If they are falling, GBP will fall more than Euro USD. If they are rising, the same thing, GBP will most times rise. Okay, it's like during rising, Euro rise more than GBP. Okay, now for GBP USD, looking at this, it is very clear there that we are seeing price already on we are seeing price on a liquidity zone. Price is playing on the liquidity zone. So the same scenario that might happen for Euro USD, okay, Euro USD, but for this one I should be, hence price is already here, we should be waiting for where price will bounce for a buy. For those of us who wants to buy, first of all, let's look at this one have been mitigated. Then if you look at, okay, let me open it up so that some of us will see the chart very well. Okay, so look at what we did. If you watch here, first of all, we've seen that this zone have been mitigated. You can see that price have already pushed and tested this zone. We'll see that upward move. Then having moved that, you can see that beneath it we're having another block here. So let's take that other block. So for GBP USD, I'm looking at this other block for price to push in here. Then we can go for buy. So buyers, take note, this is where we should be expecting price into the other block. That should be around 1.34 325. So we can be waiting for price for those of us who want to buy, because price have already sold. So you wait for a bounce for the price. So let me name it price buy zone. Sorry. Okay, so let's call it buy zone because we see that price is spot on the other block. So we are looking to take our entry on the other block. Then when we buy, take note, there is a base here which when we buy, you can target that zone to be what your TP level. Then after price have played this, we can now look for what next. So but let's wait for price to pull down a little, then we can take what our buy. Now for Euro AUD, okay, this one already you can see it on the chart. I've already analyzed this, and you can see price is already playing out. Why did I do that? Look at this. Already most of you know trend line. That is one of the basic tool to analyze the chart. So you can see on the charts we are seeing what? A trend line, which I know that price will do what? Break it. So the first point where I'm looking for price, okay, for those, sorry, this one I didn't even send it for the students, okay, but look at what one might ask, what did we see there that make us to say what price you should buy there. Now we have another block here, so price is, for me, is reacting on that other block. First of all, look at what the smart money did there. Look at this. Look at this. It's a liquidity zone, and the way they play their game is that they look for what? Liquidity. They take out liquidity. So you can see at this point what happened. They clear the liquidity zone. After clearing the liquidity zone, you can see where they took their entry. Now the purpose of taking out liquidity is for them to see those who have placed their stop loss so close. For the retail traders that have placed their stop loss so close, at that point what they do is that what? They take out the stop losses, and they can now allow the price to do what? Push up, or push the direction which they want to go. Like for this one, price push up. So price have touched the other block, taking out the liquidity, and you can see price is pushing that direction. Okay, let's go with this for AUD and AUD USD. AUD USD, you can see price is also pushing up in that direction. If you also look at this, you see that price, if you give a trend line analysis, you can see what price is actually doing. But that is not the bone of contention. Look at this. Look at what they were doing. In fact, what AUD USD was busy doing was to look out for some of these ICT entries points. Okay, now what am I expecting from this pair? Look at this guy. Okay, this one have been mitigated, boom, and you can see this, the sellers are in full force. So for those who wants to buy, just be patient. Look at this. Be patient for price. Probably price will come here and also play the same hitting the trend line. Okay, look at this, very sharp. You can see how price has been reacting to this trend line. So for me, this trend line and this zone is acting as a confluence zone. So for those of you who wants to buy, you can see price is pushing hardly, very fast towards the downward side. So wait for price on this zone. Wait for price on this zone, then we can buy. So let's go. Wait for price on this zone somewhere here. That is around 0.64498. That should be where we should be looking for what? A buy. And if we took a buy there, then expect price to do what? Give us a higher high to break this liquidity zone. Or the other way around, if you don't want to do that, you can also target the high, okay, for your TP. But wait for price to get towards here, then you can do what? Enter your buy. Then GBP NZD, this is another smart money entry. Although I dropped this on our page, price has been reacting. So what? Although where the one I dropped on the page, I was looking at this zone. Although price is still on that zone, it have not hit our stop loss. So this is where we took our entry. But you can see price is actually giving us, telling us what is happening. You can see this other block. price have come to hit the other block. Look at this other block, the last sell candle before the buy. So price have come, kiss the other block, and what do? We can now do what? If you are watching right now, you can take the entry. So price is already pushing up. So as price is pushing up, look at what we might do. If price push up, then let's split the TP into levels. Now for TP, first of all, TP1, first of all, TP1 should be at this level, this liquidity zone. Then for that TP2, we might see price get towards here. So let me just drop it and quickly end the video so that it will not take this analysis so long. So for TP1, we expect price somewhere 2.24189. Then for TP2, okay, 2.2547. So let's put it TP1, TP2. TP1, looking at this zone, TP, that should be TP1, then lastly TP2 somewhere. Then finally, okay, that is it for what we have for you guys today. All the entry, all of them are on the charts. You can see this guy is already getting towards the GBP USD. Okay, price is pushing towards there. Okay, this one could not get there. So let's see how price will play out in all of these that we have shown us. Okay, bye for now. See you in our next video. Bye.